memory and desire. हम इस चीज को डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि what memory here stands for and what is the desire. What is the desire? It was read as desire by T.S. Eliot himself when he read his The Wasteland. Fortunately, it is available on YouTube. So that is memory and desire. Desire उसने इस तरह से करके पढ़ा है. So memory, that is explained in the second line, lilac out of the dead land. So dead land is the present time. Taking into consideration the very statement of F.R. Lewis when he said that the most influential poem of our age, इसके बारे में उसने कहा था ना, The Wasteland के बारे में, the most influential poem of our age. Nothing else so truly reflects the age and redeems it. Redeems the age. Nothing else so truly reflects the age. That's the modern age. The dead land stands for the modern age, the modern time. इस एतबार से मैंने आपसे कहा ना, इंटेलेक्चुअल बैरननेस के लिए ये स्टैंड करेगी ना. इट इज ऑल काइंड ऑफ द बैरननेस, वेदर दैट वाज स्पिरिचुअल और एनीथिंग एल्स. द टिल्ट ऑफ दैट पोएम इज ऑफन टुवर्ड्स द स्पिरिचुअल साइड ऑफ अ मैन, लेकिन यू कैन टेक इट एट द सेम टाइम एज इंटेलेक्चुअल बैरननेस. जिस तरह यहाँ पे आपके नीचे एक हवाला है यहाँ पे, काउंटेस मैरी हु वाज फ्रॉम जर्मनी, वो जो मैंने आपको हफगार्टन और यहाँ पे स्टर्नबर्गर सी की एग्जांपल आपको दी थी, बताया था कि ये कौन सी प्लेसेस हैं. ओके, lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire. So you will often see one thing in that poem, very sharp contrast, amazing contrast, वो जिसे हम कहते हैं कि conceitic effect. जिस तरह मैंने आपको ये बात बताई थी कि the most of times you see that there are the two worlds juxtaposed before you, and had there been no juxtaposition before you, you would not understand the true place of either one of them. Breeding lilacs out of the dead land. Is it not something surprising? Summer surprises us, and I would rather say that this poem at the very beginning surprises us. ये surprise करती है. To a keen reader, once again मैं एक चीज को conditional करता हूँ ना, to the keen reader, April is the cruelest month. How can that be? कितनी अजीब बात है. Breeding lilacs out of the dead land. Once again, that is very surprising. Mixing memory and desire. Man perhaps live in between two well-defined polarities of memory and desire. The past and the desire to bring it back, and desire to hold the clock back since it is impossible. क्या ये desire लोगों के part पे है या Tiresias के part पे है? The person that who is a spokesman throughout time. इसका mouthpiece Tiresias है ना. Tiresias is saying that. यहाँ पे ये कहेगा ना, ये यहाँ पे we stopped in the colonnade. तो we Tiresias है ना यहाँ पे, ठीक है, जो ये पूरी poem बयान कर रहा है. And he was with Mary. तो उसकी बात कर रहा है. Mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. Once again, surprising contrast. देखें, image that prevails through the poem, that is of arid land, that is dryness. Dry tubers की बात उसने की है, dull roots की उसने बात की है. फिर आगे भी there are many references of dryness. अब यहाँ पे कुछ थोड़ा सा मैं आपको कुछ पढ़ के बताता हूँ. ये किंडल में मेरे पास जैसे कहते हैं मैंने वो नोट्स बनाए हुए होते हैं, तो जिस तरह पढ़ता रहता हूँ तो फिर उस तरह से मैं इन चीजों को नोट करता रहता हूँ. अब देखें, and dry stones with no sound of water, ये आप पढ़ेंगे. The little low dry garret, her drawing combinations, sweat is dry. फिर आप पढ़ेंगे dry sterile thunder, dry grass singing, dry bones can harm no one. Why I have read that? So that you might understand this thing, that this image actually recurs again and again. इसमें बहुत सी चीजें जो मैंने नहीं पढ़ी. Few of them which were fresh in my mind at the time. It is always the poem is fresh in my mind when I teach them, teach the poem. तो उस वक्त अपने पास नोट करता रहा हूँ. So you see that entire poem is full of this image, that is the image of dryness. And it begins with this image and having very sharp contrast. There is a contrast of dryness and as well as water. There is a contrast of the April and the cruelty, and there is the lilacs and as well as dead land, and there is dull roots and spring rain. Winter kept us warm. Warm means warmth of life. Winter kept us warm. A few people are of this view that winter is the time of materialization of human carnal desires, or much is carnal in this poem. Winter kept us warm because of the carnal activities. Some of the people are of the view. Kuch critics and academics, they say that. Covering earth in forgetful snow. Forgetful snow का मतलब यही है कि when there is winter, you don't see any sign of April. Sign of April is flower. Sign of April is bloom. It is greenery. It is rebirth. Rebirth of something is at the same time associated with the demise or the death of something. तो rebirth past का एक image है और death है वो spiritual death of the modern time का एक image है. It to which it stands for. Feeding a little life with dry tubers. अब देखें dry once again and roots. Tubers, roots को कहेंगे सारी बात है. Summer surprises us because in a summer there are rains. इसकी example देगा. Coming over the Starnberger Sea with a shower of rain, we stopped in the colonnade and went in the sunlight into Hofgarten and drank a coffee and talked for an hour. Binger keine Gusen stum ich Lithuan ich Deutsch. That means that I am not Russian, I am Lithuanian, a true German. The places are German. Starnberger Sea, that is perhaps a lake there, or Hofgarten is a public place. And they went there and they drank coffee. अब यहाँ पे आप जब देखें इसने ये कहा कि in forgetful snow, feeding a little life with dry tubers, summer surprises us. Summer is the time of the rain. Summer is the time of the greenery. Coming over Starnberger Sea with a shower of rain, we stopped in the colonnade. तो colonnade का मतलब ही यहाँ पे ये होगा कि at some shelter of the trees. From there, they would keep themselves sheltered from the rain. Wordsworth की poems जब आप पढ़ते हैं तो वो एक word use करता है bower, B-O-W-E-R, bower. It was bore at the time of Wordsworth. It was monosyllabic word, but now it is disyllabic. जब bore, tor, por, उस वक्त ये monosyllabic words थे. If you pronounce it as bower, so you cannot properly scan his lines. तो उससे अंदाजा होता है कि the word is perhaps monosyllabic. Bore, tor, flower. So nowadays we pronounce it as flower, as bower. अब ये disyllabic words हैं. Shakespeare की poetry में भी ऐसे ही है. To the time of the Romantics, you see that this word is actually monosyllabic. Okay, that is summer surprises us. Coming over Starnberger Sea with a shower of rain, we stopped in the colonnade. What was in my mind that whenever Wordsworth talks of bower, तो bower का मतलब होता है कि shelter, एक shelters, and that is a bushy, green shelter of trees. जब बारिश होती है तो आप उनके नीचे खड़े हो जाते हैं. So that is a shelter. William Wordsworth gives that impression that this is the shelter from heart-beating sun. And now you see this colonnade is a shelter from rain. अब आपने अंदाजा लगाया कि people want to go to the dryness. That is why they are intellectually, spiritually barren. Water stands for rebirth and life. They just keep away from it. They do not enjoy rain. They rather stopped in the colonnade. भाई याद में जिस जमाने की ये पोएम है उस जमाने की आप वो मूवीज उठा के देखें, इसमें पुरानी मूवीज आपको दिखाते हैं. आज भी इंग्लैंड में यही हाल है. खैर ये तो जर्मनी की बात यहाँ पे हो रही है कि वेस्ट की यही हाल है. वहां पे तो बारिशें बहुत ज्यादा होती हैं एंड पीपल they usually don't take umbrellas. बस वो एक ऊपर उन्होंने लॉन्ग कोट पहना हुआ होता है और बारिश में घूम फिर रहे होते हैं। इसी तरह से आप उनकी मूवीज में भी आप इस तरह देखते हैं, मूवी में एक कल्चर होता है ना जी, कल्चर तो आपको दिखाई देता है ना, बहरहाल बाकी सब कुछ तो फैब्रिकेटेड है, बाकी सारी कहानी है खुद से बनाई गई है, लेकिन कल्चर तो नजर आता है ना, उनके ड्रेस में नजर आता है, उनके बिहेवियर में नजर आता है, उनके वो जिसे कहते हैं मैनर में नजर आता है, उनके तमाम चीजों में कल्चर झलकता है। तो कल्चर को तो कोई नहीं छुपा सकता ना, तो ये चीजें तो कल्चर का हिस्सा होती है। तो वी स्टॉप्ड इन द कॉलोनी, अवॉइडिंग द रेन is a sign of something, that is to go once again into dryness, that might be called as intellectual barrenness, or at the same time spiritual. Since this poem has often been charged as Christian poem, that is what I told you yesterday. अगर इसको religious poem भी अगर हम कहें ना, तो उसका domain बहुत broader है, ठीक है? And went into the sunlight in the half garden, yes. अब देखें, avoiding rain and going into the sunlight, whereas if you see William Wordsworth, so it was quite diametrically opposed. Bower stands for to give you shelter against the heart beating sun, or it is not the shelter against rain. Into a half garden and drank coffee and talked for an hour. Don't you see that this is actually the aimlessness of the modern civilization, the modern people? तो वहां पे वो औरत क्या कहती है, वो Mary says this thing to whom? Tiresias से कह रही है ना, Binger keine Russen stem echtien ich Deutsch, if I am rightly pronouncing it. बहरहाल इसका मतलब ये है, that's a German, इसका मतलब ये है कि I am not Russian, I am Lithuanian, the true German. आप मुझे बताएं, they are in Germany. That Starnberger See is the lake near Munich, and this is the public place near Munich. They are in the Germany, and being in Germany, that she is saying that ich Deutsch, that I am a true German. Sign तो वहां पे नजर आना चाहिए कि when you are not in that country, that should reflect from you. Being in that place that she says that she is from Germany. And when we were children and staying with the Otdukes, my cousins, he took me out in a sled and I was frightened. He said, Mary, Mary, hold on tight, and down we went in the mountains where we feel free. I read much of the night and go south in the winter. Mary is telling about the past. On a sled. Sled को तो आपको पता है ना कि वो बर्फ के ऊपर वो जो एक व्हीकल होती है, मोटरसाइकिल की तरह होती है, तो when they would ride on that, so that is why that he says that she says that I was frightened, and that is why it was advised to hold on tight, मजबूती से पकड़ रखे ना. तो अब आप ये देखें कि once again the image of snow and as well as past. Past is the desire to get out of the snow that is somehow insinuated by that line. And down we went. In the mountains we feel free. Whereas they're free in the mountains. I read much of the night and go south in the winter.
करके पढ़ के मुझे थोड़ा इस तरह याद आ रहा है कि एक बार जिस तरह सर उमर हमारी क्लास में थे, एंड आई थिंक उन्होंने इसी पोएम से कुछ लाइंस कोट करके बताई थी. और जो अभी ये पढ़ने के बाद भी और उनकी इस एक्सप्लेनेशन के बाद भी मुझे ये लग रहा है कि जैसे हम कह रहे हैं कि वो अप्रैल भी कह रहा है और क्रूएलिस्ट भी कह रहा है,
Yes.
मेमोरी भी कह रहा है और डिजायर भी कह रहा है. तो सर मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वो अप्रैल को क्रूएलिस्ट इसलिए कह रहा है कि व्हेन देयर इज स्प्रिंग आउटसाइड you become more aware of the autumn that's prevailing inside.
Very good. Very good.
So that's why, sir, when he says this spring and greenery, this spring and greenery means this apparent happiness, progress in modern things around. So he feels that how empty, hollow and barren is his inside.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's why he's comparing the two ideas that are poles apart. That's why he says that the April is cruelest in the memory and desire, and these dull tubers in the month of rains and sunshine in the rain and all that. It's just that the beauty and the life and the greenery of the outside is making him to consider more his internal barrenness, his internal void
Ah.
and his internal hollowness. That's why he's saying that this apple is cruel, that
Hmm.
it's making me more realize my
Hmm.
own faults and my own hollowness. That's what I
Yes,
think.
yes. Exactly, exactly. इसी तरह ही है. Very good. Good attempt.